Hello, everybody,
Hello.
and welcome back to Dungeon of the Mad Mage. This is session 26. I feel like we're kind of like all over the place tonight. I think
I'm not. I'm focused like a laser.
Zach is focused like a laser. I'm all over the place right now. I'm stressed because of
a
election
laser beam
woes,
can
but
be incredibly unfocused.
Yeah, but I'm focused like a focused laser.
he's like a focused laser, not just any laser, but a focused laser.
Okay.
Gosh. Alright, let's play some D&D. Start things off with a little bit of a recap. Previously, on the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, the party found themselves once again reunited in their home in Waterdeep. Howldown was over. The party's mission had been successful, though it had not played out like anyone had planned. Regardless, the party had proven themselves to Waterdeep and to the city guard, and as Callow told it, to the fourth in particular. The party had made themselves some staunch allies. The next few days saw a flurry of activities from the party as they began to the process of settling back into their old life. But before they could do that, there was one unresolved situation that had come up before Howldown. Ash's poisoning. Vincent Trench, the local private investigator, had found evidence that Emic Froon was indeed behind the poisoning. But now it was a matter of what to do with that information. Trench believed it was enough to get the Watch involved, but that it would likely slow the resolution of the matter. The party understood this meant that they wanted swift justice, it would need to be delivered outside of the confines of the law. But the party decided against that route, and paid Vincent to handle the matter personally with the Watch. The next few days were filled with research, crafting, minor work, and a semi-complicated booze run, where the party acquired 20 more barrels of Malarkin ale from the second floor of Undermountain. On the night of the 20th, Cimril, the party headed to the Temple of the Moon and spent time there as the city celebrated and stood vigil for the longest night. After another few days of work and research, the party headed back down into Undermountain, intent on pressing forward to levels. Their preparation was filled with rumors of new factions, exploits, and adventurous tales of what had transpired in their absence. They got to experience some of this as the Two Heads, a new faction of goblins on the first level, attempted to extort them, resulting in Bones rather callously killing one of the goblins and sending the rest scattering.
Learn your place, trash.
The party then headed down to the third level of the dungeon, the Sargoth level, where they traveled to the new hold of the Skull Takers. They found there a thriving goblin community, with the different members settling into their new roles as a group, not the least surprising of which was Catsup, the leader of Catsup's Battle Goat Cavalry. It seemed that the Skull Takers were well on their way to becoming a force to be reckoned with, settling in to their new home.
That's right, I'm a warlord.
But another force awaited the party on the next level, or so Melanor Fellbranch had told Bones. An ancient evil, a creature of perverse manipulation, an aberration, an aboleth. Would the party be able to face this creature? Would their bones, claws, fists, and magic save them against the mind-altering powers of the Far Realm? And what else might they find there in the Twisted Caverns? That is where we pick back up. Our party is on the 3rd floor of the dungeon, in the old temple to Dumathoin. That is kind of being consecrated to a new god. Sim. Yeah, so now we kind of like we move into that situation of what is the party's plan? Where do you wish to go from here? What would you like to do?
We're done, right? We're done. Everyone's done with everything. We're good to go.
You geared up your horde. We had
Our
our
horde?
conversations, and I think we were going to proceed on.
Yes, it seems as though everything is in order.
Okay. So where are you going?
To the 4th floor.
Down.
We're going down.
And that is
The dungeon.
We go
This
over.
way, Jeremy. It's this way.
you're just okay. There's the ground right here,
I'm
and we're
just
just
fucking
gonna
with you, Jeremy.
we're just gonna keep
We
hitting
know
it
If
where
I
until we
remember
get
correctly,
there.
one way to
exit
get there
is.
was via the river, right? Out of Skullport.
Or through the stairs by the Legion.
Yeah, by the Legion, the stairs.
Okay.
Not the northern one, the southern one.
So
as I
the plan
recall.
is to head to the river or head to the Legion.
The
I
stairs.
think we go to the stairs.
Okay.
The river, the Legion.
All right.
Stairs.
As you
Well,
head,
the stairs are at the Legion, you dingus.
Yeah, dang.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. Melanor specifically told me the thing is down river. So let's not take the river down.
No, we don't want to do that.
I mean, I'm down, but are you guys? You guys want to do that?
Sorry, say that one more time.
The ancient evil, the Aboleth is specifically down river. So I'm just saying it might not be the best idea to float on down to the 4th.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. It seems like a pretty bad idea to try and fight the Aboleth while we're on a little dinghy floating down the river with no idea where he is. I think we should get down to the 4th floor and maybe do some reconnaissance and get some info before we pick this fight.
All right, to the stairs then.
I gotta turn
So
on my
it has been
cat
agreed.
cam for the riders real quick.
I would.
Let's start a riot.
The chat.
See, you get the cat cam when the cat is actually here to be cammed. Anyways, all right. So the plan is to head to the Legion's territory. So as you head out of the Skull Takers territory, you very quickly come into the Legion's territory in the Eastern Stromkolder ruins, right? They have expanded while you were gone. There are more forces here in the Eastern Stromkolder ruins. The place is still... I mean, it's still a
Dog shit?
caved-in nightmare, right? But there's obvious fortifications that are being built up. There's work being done, right? You are hailed, stopped, investigated, recognized, and then sent on through. And then there's a little bit of a disconnect as you're traveling from the Eastern Stromkolder ruins to the western ones. There's still less presence of the Legion here, kind of around the river bank, and the dwarven whatever, right? The place that you guys haven't been able to get into. There's less presence of the Legion in that area, but enough that it doesn't cause your travel does not count as dangerous travel. Okay? So, you head back over. You are greeted as you reach the southern point by Ognok, one of the Legion commanders that you have
I am the one who
spent
knocks.
time with before. And so, you've been told that from this location to the west is the tunnel leading down into the Twisted Caverns. So is this where you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So, no...
I'd like to, before we go down, I'd like to ask Ognok. Ognok, is there anything I should be wary of? Prepare me for the fight ahead, brother.
There are many things in the farm. Is a very lush place. A lot grows there. But that means that many things come and go. Lots of fighting, lots of predators, lots of things driving others out. There have been, for quite some time, fishmen. But since our trouble with the drow, we have made fewer and fewer excursions to the farms.
Are there
The drow
any-
did come from below.
Are there any frog people down there?
I know of none.
Okay.
All right, cool.
As far as specific threats go, I can warn you of nothing. Not at this moment.
I thank him.
So,
Give him.
knowing that you guys are heading that way, but that you kind of like do pass briefly through Legion territory, your names and information is taken down in Eastern Stromcolder Ruins. One of the hobgoblins here does take a quick note, right? Basically like scrawling that your group passed through this location and is heading down level 4, and then you're sent on your way. The Legion lets its allies pass, and they don't exactly wish you well, but they're kind of like, they do the whole warriors kind of like, good luck type thing.
Break a leg.
Hey, speaking of legs, does anyone want some arrows? I have a quiver of arrows.
How is that speaking of legs?
It was a
mean,
bad
are-
segue, I'll be honest with you. But
Are they
Oh.
special in any way?
no, there's just 20 of them.
I guess. Fuck it. I'll take them.
20.
Sorry, man. I
I-
use bolts.
I delete.
I am now back up to 56 out of 60.
Hey.
To the left, everybody go to the left.
So you move past Ognok and his contingent holds the defensive position to the south of the western ruins of Azrock's Hold. You walk down a tunnel for a little ways, and you see some more hobgoblin fortifications and another 2 hobgoblins standing guard there that they just kind of like hail you as you pass. Head further down, and there starts to become this slow slope and curvature down to the left, right? And it begins to increase rather drastically after the first few minutes, to where the curve to the left is more severe, and the slope gets to about a 25 to 30% like angle, right? So it actually starts to slope down pretty drastically, right? Almost like you're kind of like suddenly spiraling downwards. as you travel further down, this is not safe territory, so you will tick up the situations.
So bad.
Oh, inevitable.
They are inevitable. So it ticks up to 5. And the atmosphere around you begins to change. You begin to the walls begin to grow moist, wet. You hear dripping sounds around you. And you begin to see small patches of lichen and moss that grow thicker and thicker across the walls as you head further and further down.
You see Ash's brothers and sisters?
The verdant greenery of the farms seems to be coming into play. To the point to where you begin to smell things. You begin to smell deep, musky scents, but also, oddly enough, some almost kind of like citrusy type smells, right? Like some brighter, kind of almost startling scents, right? That you pick up here or there, and you begin to see small little like funguses among the moss and lichen. You even see some odd flowers, for lack of a better term, right? Things that kind of have petals, but they don't look, they're not shaped like any flowers you have seen upon the surface. Into travel down cavern. Let's kick on some Twisted Cavern music. How's that for everyone?
Seems fine.
I hear nothing.
Ooh.
Subtle.
I hear nothing, but I think that's because I turned it down on
Nope,
Monday.
I hear nothing.
Ah, there we go.
I like it.
I'm a fan.
All right.
It's like it could be a dungeon song for Zelda.
We are upon a new level, my friends. So I'm going to swap you all on over.
It's exploring time.
It's exploring time. We haven't explored in a while.
Lord,
Like even prior to Howldown, you guys had kind of like explored all of Sargoth a long time ago. It's been a good like
Excuse
15
me,
or
sir.
so. What?
I've
Happy
spent
year.
the last week exploring a
Oh,
library.
get out of here. Get out of
exploring the
here.
mind.
All right. So, if everyone can locate themselves, they're up here towards the northwest. Everybody good?
Yep.
I'm there.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. I have to
I
get
like
back
how it
into
doesn't seem
the.
like there's any way
There.
back. We just kind of showed up here.
So
This is where we are now.
the slope gradually begins to lessen. The tilt to the left gradually begins to stop and straighten out. And you find yourselves in a new place. You have control of your tokens.
I have no memory of this.
Let's see what happens. What do you guys do?
Explore!
We start exploring forward.
Ezra goes ahead and uses his Hasner Keta to cast Mage Armor on himself.
Okay.
Well, little scaredy boy. I taunt as I disappear around the
What are you
corner.
talking about? He's a maid.
Okay.
Scared of
okay.
me?
Mages do. I'm coming.
All right.
I
Okay.
happily kind of jog down the corner with my hood of Elvenkind up as my half plate armor makes no sounds.
Gotcha. So, everyone can go ahead and come forward as Bones
Phone call.
and Matashtai kind of get up to this point, right? A number of different things. You see a cavern spread out before you. You find yourself in a fungal forest. Mossy paths run between patches of stout, 4-foot-high mushrooms with gray-green caps, and a forest of towering, almost tree-like mushrooms, whose caps scrape the 40-foot-tall ceiling here. Throughout the cavern are these small clearings where tiny fungus has been just torn out of the mossy ground. The ground beneath your feet actually is this kind of like soft, loamy soil. You can kind of feel your feet squish in and out of it as you take steps. In combination with the seemingly large amount of bat guano that also covers the floor here, it makes it very easy to see tracks all over this place, especially large tracks next to these little clearings in the fungus. But on top of that, the combination of the musky and oddly kind of like bright and citrusy smells coming from the fungi and the guano smells make smelling anything other than that almost impossible. So Ashes, you're actually kind of like almost overwhelmed by the scent of fungus and bat poop.
Great.
As you're kind of taking this all in, right? You see this this new environment before you. Walking out from the right, before you, you see this figure, this old man with long gray-white hair and a huge beard in a robe covered in eyes, just walk out into the middle of the clearing. Look around. Oh, there you are. Ha! You finally made it down here. Good job!
I fire a bolt between his eyes. I'm just kidding.
Because you recognize one Halaster Blackcloak. I love it. Every time I say it, Jake's just immediately like, oh god. So the mage, he kind of like hunches and he looks at you with like one larger eye and one small kind of like squinted eye, and he goes, ah, I was getting a little worried. It took a long time for you to get from up there to down here. Everything going okay?
We really need to stop meeting like this.
Oh,
Yes,
but
doing great.
these spontaneous meetings are such fun.
Right.
You follow everyone that comes into the dungeon, or just us?
Only those who interest me. Right now,
I look
You're-
back, I slow turn to Ezra.
a 2.
Out of 2?
I'm sorry.
Out of 3.74.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's above average.
Mildly better than half.
I'll take it. So, any tips on the level?
Tips. Tips? Tips? Am I some sort of travel guide to you?
Well, I
You
mean, you
could
got
be.
the long wispy hair, and you show up as soon as we get here.
Hmm.
Better question would be, what exactly do you think you are to us?
You make a good point. Man from another world. Not everything here is as it seems. What you might think to be evil would, in fact, good. And what you might see as an ally might be. But one thing is most assuredly true. Have I eaten lunch yet? And he turns and he kind of walks away.
All right. I like it.
And he literally like walks across the rest of the way of the clearing and just behind a wall and gone.
Cool.
All right, I'm gonna be completely honest. I have no fucking clue what to do in situations like this.
That's why I just started talking to him. I don't know either.
Like, I mean, he's kind of our target, and there he goes to get lunch.
That isn't necessarily what our objective is, but
I mean, sure, yes, but we need it. It's clear that we're probably going to run into him quite frequently before we get to the bottom of this.
I mean, we're still nowhere near suited to
Right.
even scratch the surface of
Maybe-
that conversation.
Maybe we should come up with like a kind of a plan of questioning next time we run into him. If we can't get something a little more,
Come up with some pre-canned kind of like,
yeah,
you know,
something a little more substantial.
let's
you know?
ask about this. Next time he shows up and he just throws a fireball at you.
Well, I can quarter it if if I do well enough. Oh,
I had to
cast a
fix.
9.
Thank you
His
for bearing with me
fireballs
there. I had to
Are
fix
force
the
damage.
level scenario. The layout was messed up for some reason. All fixed now. Okay, so this figure, a Halaster Blackcloak, disappears as suddenly and randomly as he had appeared, and leaves you now within the new environment of the Twisted Caverns. What do you want to do?
Well, I think we just keep on exploring a little bit.
Okay.
I see down to the southeast what looks to be a couple of nipples in a room.
So those are stalagmites. You can see through this kind of like winding little passageway. It's carved, right? But it's worn away with slick water, so it seems as though like maybe some ages past something actually like carved through here, and then the water has just worn its way through. So you can kind of see what's going on down there, but you can't really make anything out, basically.
Okay.
That is to say, like
Well-
if you want descriptions or something like that, you'll have to like go and investigate that area a little bit further.
No, you good. Y'all want to go left or you want to go right?
Jordan creeping over there.
Okay, right it is.
Wow. Holy shit.
I start walking forward and I go to the right.
Okay, so you kind of like squeeze your
I'm
way
still,
through
I'm
because
still
it's not a
sitting there
very
almost like muddled by like Halaster just so nonchalantly.
sure. Matashtai, you can like squeeze your way through this narrow little corridor, this narrow passageway, right? And it does blossom open into another similar area, right? So you find in this more open expanse gardens of cask-shaped fungus, thin blue-capped mushrooms, fungi shelves that look like rotting flesh, and fat toadstools with orange and red stripes fill this cavern. The citrusy kind of smell is pretty powerful here. Between the garden patches meander paths that lead to and from the various exits to this kind of like larger chamber. One to the north, one to the east, and the stalagmites to the south. Oh, sorry, those are not stalagmites. I apologize. Those are stalactites. The stalagmites look different. Apologies. So those are stalactites.
Okay.
So to the south of you, there's half a dozen or more large, because there's stalactites all over the ceilings everywhere, but these are big ones, basically, that kind of like stand out. So the south is covered with stalactites, and that is that. What would you like to do?
Can you move me to where everyone is? I have no idea.
Just
yeah, we
okay,
just went to the right, just slightly.
All right.
Cool.
Let's take another left here.
Okay.
Make sure.
So you
kinda got our
begin
backs
as you begin to head
covered.
up this way.
Hello.
As you begin to head up this way, you find right at this kind of like mouth, a large slab of what looks to be almost kind of like a wood textured mushroom partially blocks the path here, almost like it's a doorway, but it is slightly ajar. And as you kind of like come up to it, you can see into this cavern where there are walls set with shelves, like actual shelves at various heights. The shelves themselves seem to be cobbled together with various mushrooms, bits of random adventuring gear, kind of, and nestled amongst the shelves look to be like numerous gourds, most of which seem to contain various liquids. In the center of the cave is a rough-hewn block of stone that is covered with various to ashes. This kind of stands out to you really quickly. It says these are alchemy supplies, and kind of like standing on the other side of that block of this makeshift table, basically, is a man, a young-looking, humanish man. He looks pretty haggard, and he's kind of like slouched, and he looks up as you come in. And he goes, "Ah, hello.
Hello.
You seek the alchemist?"
Not purposefully. Are you the alchemist?
I am.
Well, what you selling?
I trade my mixtures for spies. Potions or food and fungus, specific kinds, though.
You get a lot of business?
I do not, but enough to keep myself fed, safe, busy. Jibber jabber does well. I make drinks for him he brings me things.
What? What is Jibber Jabber? Is that a friend of yours, colleague,
Aboleth?
Abela?
Not an aboleth.
Good to know.
Etten.
Okay.
To the west of
Mm,
here.
Etton's got big bones.
A good enough fellow. When
Is there a way to
well-fed?
signify that we are good intentioned?
do you have good intentions?
Depends on the day.
Bones.
I would
does.
Well, I do.
I would say not surprising him or being aggressive. Maybe bringing him some drink.
So you say you give him drinks every now and then.
He kind of gestures off to the side. He says, "Is not my main objective, but I ferment some thing for him. I'm not sure how palatable it would be for not giantkin."
Well, I'll kind of turn the party. Is that, I mean, if we don't want to kill the dude, if we have one of those to offer him, that might be a.
Yeah, I mean, seems good enough to me.
Maybe he'd just be nice anyway. He said he was good natured.
I also appreciate gear. Any adventuring gear, really. Break it down for parts and pieces. Again, you can trade for, and he kind of gestures over to the shelves, potions.
Do I
Kinda
recognize any of them?
What kind of potions he got? He got any potions of the Sage Owl?
Between our alchemists investigating them and the alchemist himself, he's not shy about it necessarily. One will help you understand any tongue.
Comprehend language.
That'd be useful.
The other helps you stay awake, but still rest.
No fucking idea what that is. Catnap, maybe?
The way he describes it is basically you can remain awake during a long rest and still gain its benefits. Also, he will, as an aside, let you know.
Just a coffee, or what is that?
It's basically just coffee. Yeah.
It's Starbucks.
It also, you can't be put to sleep magically, so it's legitimately just coffee.
It's just caffeine, yeah. Okay.
It's basically just caffeine.
Just
a
a
monster.
beet juice.
And it looks and smells like caffeine, basically. It's a sweet amber color brew.
Wow.
It's 6 5-hour energies.
Yep.
What would you take in trade for each of those?
Each potion. Food. 20 pounds of rations or edible fungus.
20 pounds.
Or
Funny enough, I think that's exactly how much I have.
20 pounds of rations is not that much. It's only
That's
10
only
rations.
10 days.
5 tongues of madness.
What do tongues of madness come from?
It's a fungus.
They're a type of fungus, which he is willing to describe to you. If you're interested to and like
Ezra
keeping a
will
look
take
at.
notes.
So he'll let you know. Tongues of
foraging
madness basically look like large human tongues that grow out of like fungus beds. And he'll
Like
tell you
ginkgo
like
stones?
they're you can eat them, but they don't really have any nutritional value. If you
I'm great
eat
at
them,
foraging.
they kind of make you just speak compulsively. Which is why they're called tongues of madness, because when people eat them, people are like, oh, they're going crazy.
We're going crazy.
I would ask him if like was eating them like make you say things that you would normally want to keep hidden, or is it just
Yeah, you just speak
random
compulsively. Yeah. So
So it's
it's yeah, whatever just comes to mind, you just say it. You have no
Got
filter or control.
Roughly how long does that effect last?
What
About
does
7.
Oh, the madness for about an hour. He'll tell you like he uses the tongues of madness in his comprehension potion. So basically like if you bring him madness, it's just another potion. So either 20 pounds of food, whether that be rations or edible fungus,
10 rations of potion.
5 tongues of madness, or up to basically 50 gold worth of gear, adventuring gear.
It's a lot of gear.
Depends on what gear you're given.
I start asking him for signifiers of identifying what edible fungi look like.
Cool. I will give you guys a. He seems a pleasant enough fellow, right? He answers your questions pretty. What seem to be pretty forthright. So, here is a quick copy pasta of the various funguses as he knows them. A quick copy pasta. It's massive. So you have barrel stalks, which are basically water and food. You have blue caps, which are inedible in their base form, but you can grind them up into a flour, basically. So they would still count. Ripple bark is that rotting flesh one. It's edible. Timasks, also known as the devil's mushroom,
Never heard of those.
are the orange and red striped ones. They're the ones that smell like citrus, and they're poisonous. He says, "No, thank you." Trillimax are can be food. They're the gray-green ones. And then you have the Tongues of Madness, which are not really edible, and then you have Zerkwoods, which are the tall, tree-like ones, which aren't also edible.
To be fair,
We're in the Underdark level.
every
Got it.
mushroom is edible. Some you can just only ever
Yeah,
eat
it's
once.
you can eat all of it. You just might not live to tell the tale. Life.
Let me get one of them
Fire.
comprehend language ones from you. I've got some food here. So you said it was, so it'd be 10 rations is 20 pounds of food?
I believe
Yes.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
So
2 pounds of ration.
Would you take non-rations and a blanket?
fair.
What's the temperature down here, Jeremy?
Yes.
Is it
It's moist, but it's kind of moist and humid. There's definitely you can tell that there are going to be spaces where there might be a little bit of a chill, but for the most part, it's kind of like a warmish, pleasant environment.
well, I'll at some point take the time to doff my winter gear.
Okay.
Do that while this is happening. Okay, so he like from love, we've come a long ways.
Yeah, we've been working our way down.
What are your plans, dear adventurers?
I mean, we just explored.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit of exploring.
Little adventuring, little venturing.
Venture.
We heard tell of an aboleth down here. You know where that is?
Dark, foul creature.
We gathered.
Far south, on the river. Thankfully, not close enough yet. But it's filth, it's taint. It makes its way here.
A dirty taint, huh?
It's
Shut up.
perverts
Every time.
the realm around it.
Every time without fail.
You will know when you are close to its territory. The waters turn foul. The walls slick green.
All right, good to know.
You
By the way,
seek to
you
challenge
You said
the
south,
creature.
right?
Yeah, he just generally said south on the river. You seek to challenge the creature.
Well, we ain't real sure about that yet, but I'd like to get a little bit more information first.
Brave, even to consider. I have other interests. Gem, pure, valuable, not small ones. No interest in small ones. Pure, well worth their weight. If you bring me such gems, if I find them suitable, I will trade you much for one. They are a great boon in distilling various magics for my craft.
Speaking of, do you have a name, Mr. Alchemist, sir?
I am the alchemist. I
Good. All right, that'll work.
cannot remember another name.
You've been
Does
down
he
here a
feel
while.
like he's being straightforward.
Roll me an insight check.
Remember what Halaster said: allies are actually enemies.
He says, I have been in Undermountain. Many long. It's, it affects one's mind. I would suggest you show caution here.
Just curious. Did you want out of Undermountain? Are you like happy here?
It has ill effects, but it has many great boons as well. There is power here. I think I would like to leave one day, but it is not that day.
So
Perhaps-
like a Stockholm syndrome kind of thing.
I have something yet that keeps something I would like to see done. My work is important to me.
Right. Well, I'm running kind of light on gear. Left all my stuff topside, and food is a little tight.
I want for nothing at the moment. Do not fret.
Right.
But think of me. Think of me softly.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking-
Wishes.
Sorry.
Mostly at night.
Sing for me.
All right. Anyways, so yeah, the alchemist basically, he's not like, oh please trade me, oh god, but he's like,
I am literally wilting away.
Hey,
Do,
Alchemist bro, can you make any? And I'll let him have a small, tiny swig of my potion of Alsage wisdom. Ask him if he can recreate this.
It's a little boop.
Just like a
ah,
no double dipping though.
it is
You don't know what I think he's
perhaps
good.
possible, but components are rare. I would need them source.
Okay, well, can you work up a list?
I would need eyes.
Eyes come from heads. I'm good at taking heads.
Zorn. Vicious little creatures. But pale, strong of mind. There should be Bristol to the south. These Zorn like to feast upon it.
Okay.
3 eyes could do the trick.
3 eyes per potion.
Wish for multiple.
Well, there's 4 of us.
Yes. 3 eyes per potion.
Okay. That's Jeremy's. I wasn't prepared for this face.
Yeah, no, you caught him.
I have an idea. There's that takes care of the mind. But I need power towards the bruise.
9 volts.
No. This one. And he kind of like gives a nod at Matashtai, right? And he says, might not be obtainable depending on your preferences.
All right, Matt, close your ears. Earmuffs, buddy.
I pretend to earmuff.
The heart of one close to the divine, strong in their power. One such exists. 2 on this level, actually.
That's 1 heart per.
1 will be
Overall?
enough for all 3 potions.
Okay, we think one exists.
There is a tribe of Uatoa on the
Oh
river.
yeah, fuck those guys.
Their archpriest would be powerful enough. His heart could suffice. Alternatively, that house, Alfred dear, some of their ilk hide in the eastern caves. One of their priestesses leads them she should be strong enough. Work.
Well, if we wait long enough, they'll pick a fight with us. So
It's not a pleasant task, but if this is what you seek, these are the components I know shall work.
fair enough. You'll have them.
Very well.
I'm good. Y'all good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Gems.
well, I'm not-
Large. Pure.
God.
Good luck.
You too.
This guy have like a big cleft palate.
No, but he kind of like his the side of
Just
his
imagine he
face
does.
kind of twitches and it droops a little bit.
Oh, like he's definitely had a stroke. Does he smell burnt toast?
Toast? What is toast?
Fuck off, y'all have toast here.
Okay. So you guys
Fancy
leave
peanut
behind
butter
the
and
alchemist, head back behind that kind of like stone cave. Matashtai, he did give you a stoppered gourd of that potion, right? It is
A gourd? He puts his potion in gourds?
Yeah, he has little gourds.
That's awesome.
It's a little
What an
stoppered
interesting
gourd
individual.
with a concoction of salt and soot.
We should just like collect our potion bottles that we drink and just like see if he would be interested in actual glass bottles.
I mean, well, technically, so those
I
bottles,
feel like the gourds are part of his thing, though.
maybe, but in fairness, glass vials, like vials that you would use for potions, are adventuring gear. So if you store up enough of those, you could technically trade them to him for
I
a
can't
potion.
imagine an empty bottle costs more than like a silver.
I don't know. So, you guys kind of like head back south into the larger cavern, the little meandering pathways, the trickle of water, the loamy soil underfoot.
So the Aboleth is south.
Oh, the Avalon. Where did we find out? Who was that other guy? Was that Halaster? Is that what you're talking about?
The Etten?
No, you guys talked to a guy when I was on.
Yeah, that was Halaster at the beginning.
What the
Oh.
fuck? What? He's just hanging out?
Yep.
Yeah, he seems to like to pop in and check on us because we're 2 out of 3.74 interesting.
Also, he left because he needed to eat lunch.
Fair enough.
Oh, yes, he was hungry.
Okay, cool. I mean, we can
All
just
right.
explore. I mean, if you want. I mean,
Yeah, I'd say let's just keep looking around.
we just got a map. We just got to find some stuff to happen. Although,
we
you know,
map it.
that guy did just tell us there are several potentially hostile groups here.
He did. You actually did get, if you're keeping track of it and paying attention, you actually did get a lot of information from the alchemist.
Yep.
So you head east from this cavern into a winding cave that snakes around and leads to a crossroads. So Matashtai, hold there for a second while everyone else catches
This
up.
looks like a prime spot for getting ambushed.
Roll for initiative.
I will not become a slave in this campaign. I will bite my tongue.
This long, narrow cave is
Sorry,
filled
I'm $1 million
with
baby myself.
stalagmites. So these are what
Again.
the stalagmites look like, okay? So this long, narrow cave is filled with stalagmites, some of which have been broken. The ground here is uneven and strewn with bits of what look to be like chewed up armor, bone, as well as the occasional
Wasteful.
copper or silver piece.
An animal.
I'll go in there and investigate. Like, is there any like ruts on the ground? Does it look like there was a fight?
Yeah, I would
Or
like
is
to specifically look for
Or,
tracks.
or is this just like something killed and drug it here to eat?
Okay, so both of you roll. Actually, Ashes, you can roll me an investigation check, and Bones, you can roll me a perception check.
Okay. Perceiving.
Nope.
1
Don't
to
know.
1.
Okay, so Ashes, you begin to kind of like look at some of these scattering bits of armor and mass, following, trying to like see through trails or drag marks or things like that. Bones, you look around and you focus less on the actual items themselves and more on tracks and markings upon the uneven ground, etc. This whole place, this is less so, but the tracks are pretty easy to follow in this place. This place is more stone than the past two caverns have been, which has been more loamy soil, right? But there's still enough like mud and dirt and things like that that kind of like make it very obvious to find tracks. There are half a dozen tracks moving in and out of this place. You find what look to be like humanoid, medium-sized, your size, right? Tracks. You find tracks that are just slightly bigger, kind of indicative of like a bugbear or something like that, right? You find some pretty large tracks that are these long, narrow feet, and actually you probably wouldn't recognize them if not for your recent activities. They kind of look like troll prints, okay? And then you actually see some roughly the same size, but maybe like instead of long, wide, these big like 3-taloned tracks, and those you're not really sure how to place. They look like some big kind of monster, though.
Are they all just going everywhere? Or...
Yeah, they're just kind of like all over the place, right? All through this different crossroads.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
A momento.
No new information. I'd be like, this troll's afoot.
More trolls. Damn it.
Okay.
From any particular direction where the trolls coming?
Hard to tell. Looks like a main thoroughfare.
Looks like a main thoroughfare, and as you ask that question, there's this kind of slight whistling in the air, and then
Those noises.
half a dozen tentacles lash out of the darkness.
Oh boy, that's a bunch of tentacles.
Tentacles?
And strike out as you guys. I need everyone to
it's Roper time.
select their tokens and roll for initiative. It's
Is there a fucking kraken?
Roper time.
Rubber! All
Ah.
right.
Get your ass back there, Ezra. You moving, motherfucker. You gonna be back there. You gonna be back there, bitch. Actually, would you like to come forward, Ezra? Now that I think about that, you want to come forward for me real quick, Ezra?
Nope, and I'll keep my 2 initiative too.
I think actually I would rather no. All right, let's do some battle music.
Oh, yeah, I hear music now.
Yay! Okay. All right, here's the fun thing about ropers. Ropers are basically invisible until they move.
I see it right there.
So you guys are surprised.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds good.
so the southern one shoots out a tendril towards Bones.
Mobile. Okay.
So here is a bony, and the first one is gonna have advantage. Then
Sure.
anything else will not. But whoop! That's a 26 to
does,
hit.
Yeah, that does hit. Yes.
Okay, so you are grappled.
Okay.
Okay. And then I need. So I'm gonna mark you real quick as fisted.
It's all right.
Oh yeah, Daddy.
Oh, daddy. Oh,
Did I
daddy.
come back too?
Okay.
Doesn't do any damage. It just grapples me.
It grapples. Is a
Okay.
grapple. All right.
3 grapples.
And I think we'll probably go ahead and do so it pulls you immediately after hitting you with that tendril. It like yanks you hard.
Okay. I am yanked, I guess.
Through this maze of stalagmites over towards it, and you see as you
And he
see
got a big mouth.
you see these boys, and that's what you see as it kind of like pulls you right up. You see this mouth like rearing up to chomp at you.
Yeah.
He's gonna eat you.
Looks like he has pretty healthy gums, though.
Pretty healthy gums, yeah. He flosses with bones.
Same.
That could be taken. Two
Yeah,
different ways.
absolutely, it can be taken. Okay, so let me double check this real quick. All right, while you are grappled by the tendril, you count as restrained, which means the attacks have advantage against you. So,
Okay.
it basically tries to bite you in half at advantage.
Yeah, sure. As he would.
Bite!
Scary.
Well,
Yikes.
26 piercing
Yep.
damage.
I'll go ahead and uncanny dodge that.
Okay, absolutely. Hell yeah. Uncanny Dodge reduces the damage down to 13. And we're gonna get another tendril at Ashes. At normal. That's a 23 to hit on Ashes.
Oh lord.
So Ashes, another tendril strikes out, hits Ashes. Ashes, you are grappled. And then another tendril shoots out at Matashtai. That's a 14. That's a miss. A fourth tendril shoots out at Matashtai.
I duck.
Matashtai
Damn, he aimed for my feet.
gets got as well.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. That was one roper. The next roper goes.
that was one roper.
That was one roper. The next roper
by the
goes
same roper.
and begins to toss tendrils at Matashtai and Ashes. And these attacks have advantage because you were restrained. So that is a 20 on Ashes.
Are they gonna like rip me in half?
They're-
Actually, it's about a quarter.
20.
Is that a
We'll
thing?
they might try.
20 works.
20 hits? Okay.
Yeah.
So you are grabbed by this one as well. Matashtai, you also get one. 18?
Yeah, it hits.
Okay. You also get one.
Cool.
Matashtai is 1, Ashes is 2.
What's the flex dude?
Ashes is that's the other ones. I'm using different markers for grapple on each
So
one.
I'm literally we're being tug of warred.
And Ashes, the roper who just grabbed you tries to reel you in, but you are held by the other one, and now you are being pulled apart.
So I'm being quartered.
You're
Drawn
being
and
quartered. So
Well, I guess it's being halved.
so you take. Oh, wow.
Oh, it hurts.
It's a mild pain, I guess.
Don't worry, it'll be a 16 when you roll it on me.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
man, that would have been great had I been in Lycan form, because that would have only been. Well, actually, what kind of damage is that?
So it's bludgeoning.
It's
basically.
having damage.
What?
So
There's not a tearing damage.
yeah, there's not a
Tear.
rend and tear damage.
Rend.
So
That would
you know.
be good.
All right, so that is the Roper's turn. It tries to reel Ashes in, but it can't. And realizing that it is having some difficulty, you see this big kind of like stalagmite, basically is what it looks like, begin to like, you see it does the nightmare fuel kind of like centipede, like 1,000 centipede like little feet
Hell yeah.
across the floor, but it's super slow. It moves 10 feet towards you. All right, so now we are actually at the top of the round. Surprise round is over. Bones, you're up. You are grappled and restrained in front of this creature. Its big-ass beady maws chomp down on you. It wants to chomp on you again. What do you
I
wanna
would
do?
like to attempt to escape this grapple. What are my options for that?
So, you can try to just pull your way out of it using a using the normal routes with a grapple. So you can either, what is that?
Acrobatics or athletics?
Acrobatics or athletics to try to get your way out. Alternatively, you could try to cut your way out in theory.
I'm pretty comfortable with an acrobatics attempt to wriggle out.
Okay.
Commence the wriggling.
Attempt the wriggling.
Commence
Oh.
the wriggling, y'all.
This. Plus 12.
Plus 12. Okay, so you are able to wriggle out of the Roper's tendril.
Okay, and that's my action, I suppose.
I believe so, yes.
Oh, okay. Then I gonna arm myself with an item interaction. I'll go ahead and get out old Gore.
Oh, Gore. Al Gore.
Al Gore, yeah.
Yep, get out Al Gore.
I don't really want to be alone with this thing. I will
What are you talking about? It's fine.
disengage.
Bonus action disengage.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And then just fucking. I can't go to the right apparently. How did I get here? Is there not a way out of this area?
Yeah. I mean, oh, was it not letting you?
Yeah, it wouldn't let me go to the right.
Oh yeah, because it's got little sight line token. You can move among any of these. None of these are actually blocking your movement because you can just sidle along them.
20. Yeah,
Yep.
I will go right here.
Okay.
I'm back. Hey, what's up?
All right. Bones, you watch as Bones kind of like extricates himself and then rushes through the stalagmites, trying to make it back towards you. Which there's tentacles like just hovering in the air, kind of like they're almost like a witch bolt, like connected to the bodies of Ashes and Matashtai, you know. And you see Ashes and Matashtai both kind of like partially lifted up off the ground by these two different sets of tentacles. Matashtai, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna go the slashy route. I'm
Okay.
gonna.
Note you are held by two different tentacles, and you are restrained, so your attacks will have disadvantage.
Yep.
Okay.
I slash at the one holding me from the north.
Okay.
Where's my tear? There it is. Slash!
Slash it with tentacle from the north.
Tentacle of the North.
You struggle, draw your blade, and are just barely able to connect a solid blow on this tendril.
Just a flick of the wrist.
He's beyond a tentacle. Okay. I do 8 plus 2 apparently.
Your blade into the kind of almost like stone, like a piece of flesh, right? You hear this kind of like loud ching, and your blade bites into it, and as it bites, it suddenly turns from hard stone to almost kind of like butter, right? You just like slice through, and you feel resistance on the other side, and you're not sure you're gonna make it all the way through, and then because you're kind of like stuck and twist, and it and that tendril goes and it spews off, and it starts spraying just fluid everywhere. And the tendril portion around you kind of like begins to uncurl and flop down onto the ground. You are still held by the other one though.
Yeah, well, fuck that one.
Yeah, fuck that one.
All right. I'm gonna try and slash at that guy.
Joe Biden crime family.
Media won't cover it.
Oh my god, another 20.
Nice, you hit again.
Ah! I'm gonna deftly strike that one too.
Okay.
And did I just fucking hit? Is it 10 HP?
It's 10 HP.
Oh my god.
Both times. But it's AC 20 and 10 HP. Each time you are barely hitting and barely cutting through. Okay, so, but you cut through each one. All right, fantastic, awesome.
All right. I'm gonna dash down at this boy.
Well, you don't have any movement.
Oh, because
You start you start your turn grappled, so you don't actually have any
Oh
movement.
damn! I guess I would have no movement too. Then,
Oh
right?
fuck! You wouldn't have had any movement.
Yeah,
Fuck!
I go back.
Ugh.
All right, I'm back. I'm back.
Rewind
Then.
time.
Would you
Can I-
want
can
to
I
do
get-
something with your bonus action instead of disengaging then?
Can I sit and use my bonus action to draw another dagger?
Oh. Fuck yeah, I don't care.
I'm gonna use
Whatever.
my bonus action to
Alright.
patient
Other
defense.
Okay, patient defense.
Double dag.
Double dag. Cool. All right.
Flip, flip.
Flip the whip. All right. The roper will shoot one. Again, spewing tentacle, pulls back, screeches, right? But it still has, the one to the south still has 2 other tendrils. One is going to shoot out at you, Bones.
Okay. Well, I'm well aware of him now.
Yep. So it's just normal.
Although it seems to not have a problem. Yeah, that
Still
that'll
25. So it
Hit. That'll hit.
still grabs you.
I am grabbed.
You are already right next to it, so it does not need to reel you in. So it just tries to bite you at advantage.
Okay.
22.
Yep. That will bite. I will go ahead and react once again.
Reduce that down to 9.
Okay.
Okay. And then
More
another
difficult.
tendril will go back at Matashtai.
It's more difficult than the goddamn Troll King.
So a 15. That's a miss. Okay. And then this one is going to try to reel in the other target that it has grappled, and that's Ashes. So, Ashes, you are tug of war yet again for another 9
Alright, there you
bludgeoning
go.
damage.
I take it to 9.
Okay. So now it is the Northern Roper. He's already got Ashes caught, so he's going to shoot tendrils at Matashtai at disadvantage because I forgot Matashtai has taken patient defense. So there's a 9, big miss, and an 11, big miss. So he
Finally,
will
someone is free and can do something.
he will also try to reel in Ashes. for another 7 bludgeoning damage.
All right, this is actually
Ashes
starting
is
to
just
add
getting
up.
you, Matashtai. You're right next to him, and you just hear every like crunch of his bones as these tendrils just against each other. And the roper will slowly but surely towards his prey. Ashes, you're up.
You'll see frustration across his face that eventually turns into rage as I use my bonus action to transform into my lichen form.
Nice.
Boom. Boom. And multi-side, choose side. This side, choose. Can't really tell. Whatever. Good. Don't really like it. I am going to twist, kind of sit up, and just start flexing, and I'm going to try to break out.
Okay. So
I guess mechanically I can only choose one.
you can only try to break out of one grapple at a time. So you flex and you basically grab one tendril and you try to like peel it off of you and throw it aside. So
22.
that'll fucking do it. Yeah. Do you want north or south off of you?
Bones is south, right?
Yes.
North.
Okay. So you toss the north one off of you. Okay.
And that's turn.
All right. Fantastic.
Actually, I forgot I get advantage on saving throws in lichen form.
Yeah, you would have
Yeah,
kicked its ass.
Didn't
All
matter.
right. Ezra.
Says you get disadvantage if you for strength shit, so it would have been equal anyway.
So it would have been normal.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Ezra, you hear the sudden like sounds, and you see the tendrils lashing out of the darkness, and you hear the gnashing of teeth and the crunching of bones. What do you want to do?
Literal crunching of bones.
Little crunching of bones. What do you want to do? Come into the light, my friend. Come into the light. So, you run in, Ezra, and you see these horrid, rocky, earthy creatures with these huge, piercing red eyes and dozens of sharp teeth, sinister teeth, tentacles flailing in the air around you. What do you want to do?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I decide to take a couple of steps back. And twin haste Matt and Ashes.
Okay.
Hell.
And use my bonus action to take another 10 feet back.
Okay.
Into another roper.
Gotcha. All right. So Ezra
Juju
rushes
up,
forward, kind of like gauges the situation, and goes, "Oh no!" And as he's saying that, right, he's kind of like
boy.
taking steps
boy.
back, and his hands
Boy.
flit into different
Boy.
motions, and you hear arcane language upon his breath, and then Matashtai and Ashes, you both feel that that sudden like time begins to like slow around you, and you everything just feels faster, everything just feels more. And that is where we are going to go ahead and take our break. So when we come back, we will finish maybe this fight with these ropers and or the ropers who I don't think have been hurt yet will finish the party, one or the other.
Oh, I'm sure ripping their tentacles off didn't feel good.
So, you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll see you in just a
Bye-bye.
little bit. Bye, everybody.